I want to take you now to our colleagues in the United States. As we mentioned with Chris, the blue wall, pivotal for Kamala Harris's path to victory. Early data suggests her vote may be falling short in Wisconsin. Here's the latest from our colleagues at Fox News.
So this is Lackawanna. This is Scranton. Okay, so she's got an edge. Go ahead. She's got an edge of 51%.
The 2020 vote for that.
Okay, I'm going to do something here, and you're going to see a slide come out. All right, so you guys got to remember these numbers, all right? Versus 2020, here is Biden's number. So she's about, you do the math, 2.5 points below what Biden did, but she's winning the county too, and that's Scranton. Can I just show you guys something that I think we need to pay attention to? This is Wisconsin. All right, so you got your Fox Insights going here, okay? We talked about Dane, we talked about Milwaukee. What about Green Bay? That's Brown County, all right? Right now, with 46% of the vote reporting, in Brown County, which is Green Bay, Trump's up 3.6 points at this time in the night, okay? Take this off. We'll move down here to Outagamie, all right? He's up 1.8 points higher than he was 4 years ago. Take that off. This is Winnebago, right? Trump is up 1.3 points at this point in the vote, higher than he was 4 years ago. And, you know, when you're analyzing the state going into this election, those are three of the counties you're looking at where he's trying to, like, drive the numbers up. And he's able to do that. And so this is where we sit, you know, 0.5 point. And not for nothing, guys, but sorry. Come on back here. Not for nothing. But Robert Kennedy has racked up 8,000 votes in Wisconsin. And 2020 in Wisconsin, we'll get it here. Yeah, I got you. 20,682. Wow. Maybe it matters, guys, or maybe it doesn't, but it's just something to point out right now. When we come back, I'll take you to Michigan, some things happening.
Our own chief election analyst, Tom Connell, standing by. Tom, where are things at in the blue wall?
You'd much rather be in the Donald Trump camp right now, and that's because of where things are shaping, in particular in those battleground states. Let's go straight to them. This is a live count right now. You can see all of these look pretty close. It's the trend right now that is not the Harris camp's friend, though, because we saw a lot of them start with early blue vote and then trend back. Let's have a look at Arizona. We haven't seen that yet tonight. And on the surface, you say, well, this looks okay because this was a very slender margin last time. 0.3%, Joe Biden carried it by. The margin right now, 0.9%, nearly 59% counted. But in Arizona, the trend last time was all the early vote was counted first. That's going to favour the Democrats. Looking at the counties here, in particular Maricopa County, that basically decides Arizona. It's going at about the same rate as it did last time. But that's with the early vote that's likely to actually favour Kamala Harris. So even though this looks okay, I think this is a huge danger sign that it's this close with that early vote, albeit I want to make sure these trends are the same. We've had such huge changes overall in voting from 2016 to 2020 to now, with one of those being a COVID year. That's leading to some uncertainty. But even though that looks okay, look at that. As I speak, Donald Trump hits the lead from 0.9% behind. So that's what I'm talking about. That early vote was good. I think this is a really early danger sign in Arizona for Kamala Harris. So that's Arizona. Wisconsin, we've been speaking about as well. It's relatively advanced in the count, nearly 50%. And again, you've got Donald Trump shifting ahead. And the concern here, as we heard from our Fox colleagues, it's the underperformance. And again, let's remember Wisconsin, the margin last time, 0.6% to Joe Biden. So if you're talking a few percentage points where Donald Trump is so far outperforming, you saw those stats between 1, 2, 3, 4%. That's all he needs, as long as Kamala Harris doesn't outperform in the suburbs. She's doing it in some, but not enough, and not cranking turnout enough as well to overcome that. So that's the early danger already in Wisconsin, that's looking like a concern, albeit too early in the count to be making any sort of definitive comments around it. When as well we go to, let's have a look at North Carolina and see this is closing it all. So 75%, 6.2%. Struggling to see a path back right now for Kamala Harris. Remembering Donald Trump won this last time. It's looking like a Trump hold. It hasn't been called yet. We're keeping an eagle eye on it, but it's looking pretty ominous. Georgia, we were waiting for a dump of vote. OK, it's come in. Look at that. That's gone from 81 to nearly 88%. And you've seen how much that's tightened. 3.2% now. The concern is that was a big amount of larger county vote that we knew was going to be good for Kamala Harris, and it's tightened. but the margin's still 150,000. And the overall margin percentage point there, 3.2%. So, and the concern I've been saying for the Democrats, because on this number last time, they caught up and they won. It was a nail-biter, 11,000. But that was, the late vote was all mail-in ballot. 4% and 181,000 in 2016. A COVID year, 1.3 million mail-in ballots, 26% of the count. And this time, a huge drop. That can come up a little bit. They can still be accepted as long as they're stamped correctly and so on. The point is the extent to which the mail-in ballot saved the Democrats last time isn't going to arrive in the same numbers. So where do we think we sit right now in terms of this scenario? This is us leaning forward, Kieran. This is not me calling things in case people are just tuning in. But if this is the case, if we think North Carolina is going to go to Donald Trump here, Georgia as well, if I'm going to be really forward-leaning and just say that those early numbers look positive for Donald Trump at Arizona, then you get to 256. Iowa, the figures we saw so far is that it's tightened as a contest, but at the same time, it doesn't look like it's particularly promising or promising enough for Kamala Harris, given Donald Trump won it by 8% last time. So then you get to, let's forget for the moment about Kamala Harris's path. How does she stop Donald Trump getting to 270? The concern is this: it could easily be, on those early numbers, Wisconsin. That's clearly a possibility. We're not calling that yet. It's too early. There's also early data in Michigan saying that contest could tighten. That one's interesting because it's 2.6% was how much Donald Trump won it by last time. It's the one swing state. There's a little bit of margin for error for Kamala Harris to not perform as well, but there's no margin for error in terms of the Electoral College. And obviously Pennsylvania would be the same way. So at that point, if this is happening, the only area Kamala Harris can actually afford to lose at that point is Nevada. We don't have any numbers in yet for Nevada at 268. So as we've been saying, this blue wall, we knew it was going to be vital. It's looking like it's going to be absolutely crucial, Kieran. And the problem is there are early bad signs in terms of underperformance. That's what we keep saying. It's how Kamala Harris is going compared to Joe Biden. This is Michigan, so 21% counted a slight lead. As I said, the underperformance here looks like a few percent for Kamala Harris compared to Joe Biden. It's the one small buffer. 2.6% was this result last time for the Democrats, so they can actually afford to lose a little bit, but they can't afford to lose the state or, at the moment, any of those, the blue wall states, the swing states, Kieran. It's looking ominous. It's not over at this point. We want to see more vote coming in, but you'd much rather be in the Trump camp right now. That other factor that I keep coming back to is mail-in ballot that saved, this is nationwide by the way, that saved the Democrats last time. You see this, 17%, 41%. There's not a percent yet because we don't know total turnout, but look at that, 65 million last time, 37 million will tick up a little bit, but the extent of that vote won't arrive this time around. It's not a COVID year, we won't have that huge mail-in ballot number.